Good morning, Lauren.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. My
Good.
name's Tiffany Esposito. I'm the CEO of the Bonita Springs Area Chamber of Commerce, and thank you for taking the time to meet with us today.
You're
We
welcome.
are the Southwest Florida Alliance of Chambers. We represent 8 chambers of commerce in Lee and Collier counties, and we represent 6,000 businesses and 300,000 residents. We are recording this interview, and we're doing interviews with all of our candidates for the state and federal races in Lee and Collier County. So again, thank you for taking the time to meet with us. We really appreciate it. Before we get started with some questions, we'll go ahead and introduce everybody, and then we just have a few questions for you. Cool.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. So we got John, Donna, Michael, Colleen, Jackie, Chris. You guys want to go in that order?
Sounds good. Good morning, Lauren. My name is John Lime, the President and CEO of the Sandoval Captiva Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, good morning.
Donna, we can't hear you. Okay, we'll skip to Michael, Colleen, Jackie. We'll come back to you, Donna.
Hey, Lauren, it's Michael Dalby. I'm the President and CEO of the Greater Naples Chamber serving Collier County.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. I'm Colleen Depasquale, the President of the Greater Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. I'm Jackie Lezak. I'm the President of the Fort Myers Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning.
Morning.
Nice to meet you all.
You too.
Does that work?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. Hi, I'm Donna Germain. I'm President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of Cape Coral. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. This is Chris Lopez. I am the chairman of the Southwest Florida Chamber of Commerce, and I consult with the Alliance of Chambers. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Lauren, we'll just start off, and if you could tell us about yourself, that'd be great.
Well, it's nice to know that I have a few friendly faces that I currently already work with. Many of you may or may not know, but I did serve on the Collier County Productivity Advisory Committee with one of my fellow chamber members here this morning. I did step down from that committee once I filed, but Michael, I miss seeing your face at those meetings. I am a small business owner. I've been a small business owner in the Naples area for over 30 years. Also born and raised in Naples. I think that we're aligned in a lot of ways. I understand the pressures behind signing both sides of a check, being a small business owner. And a few things I think I can say about myself is that Florida is a small business state, as you all know, and I am pro jobs and I am pro free enterprise. I think that the Where We Stand guide is an amazing publication that I would love to make sure that all of my 7,000 members in the realtor community have a copy of. There's some great data in there. I think if I could say where we are aligned, free enterprise system, less government, I completely agree. In having intrusion in our marketplace, I think that needs to be focused on less abusive lawsuits. I myself personally was impacted by I wouldn't say fraudulent, but it was pretty fraudulent workman's comp claim that cost me a lot of money and should have never even had any merit. So I understand that we need to continue to push for tort reform. I think that we definitely need to have consistent laws statewide and keep them very simple. We, of course, need fiscal responsibility and transparency. Being on the Productivity Committee really opened my eyes to this as really a key issue that we need to focus and continue to focus on. Competitive labor environment, I think that's critical as well. I know we have a shortage in a lot of the trades, and I think it's very important. The plumbers, the electricians, a lot of the trades are supported, and we fill that gap. And of course, I am school of choice. I have 3 children. They all went to different schools. One went to a public school, the other went to private schools. And I felt that I knew what was best for my children independently. It's definitely not a one size fits all. So yes, I am very for school of choice. A few things that you brought to my attention, which I consider to be alarming, is that $1 billion of funding went to paying down the pension system of unfunded liability, and that out of 490 local pensions, more than 84% are not fully funded. That is alarming to me. And of course, that is a fact that you all have in this Where We Stand guide. The other issue that was alarming to me is that we have over 21% of our kids under 18 live in poverty in Florida. I can tell you over the last 3 months, I have been a maniac, literally. I have been distributing 1,000 crates of corn to the Immokalee food banks, the Naples food banks, the Everglades City food banks, and it's scary. It was eye-opening to see the lines in these food banks out, around the building and down the road. I've been also working to provide hand sanitizer and school supplies to the Immokalee Foundation and other centers. So it's been rewarding over the last few months to really get involved with the community and identify the needs.
Thank you. So Lauren, what prompted you to run for office?
Well, what prompted me to run for office is being a small business owner. I look at Representative Rommel, and we need more people like him in the Florida House. I feel that we need people that are small business owners and understand the importance of small businesses and how it impacts the Florida economy. It's critical. I never, of course, anticipated, I filed in February, I never anticipated COVID. And so that's been a motivator for me. I am terrified, to be quite honest, of what next year will look like with the budget. But at the same time, I think that small businesses have really been impacted. And, I've had small business, Ave Maria has a small business brewery, and the owners reached out to me because they just were struggling. Didn't understand why they could go to a gym and yet they couldn't open their pub up and have seating outside 6 feet apart. So, I definitely have identified that we need more small business owners to just kind of get our economy, get the pressure to, if we're in this situation again, which I hope we aren't, to pressure to open, the state back up and of course take precautionary measures, but not kill Florida's economy at the same time.
Great, thank you. What makes you qualified to represent the business community?
I have had a past speaker of the House that literally referred to me as having real world experience. And I really hadn't thought of myself like that other than just being a business owner. But I believe that is what qualifies me for this job.
In your opinion, what is the most pressing issue facing the Southwest Florida business community? And if elected, what would you do to address this issue?
Wow, there's not really one issue. When we, as you pointed out in this guide, when we have over 900 people per day coming to this area. Obviously, infrastructure is huge. We're really going to have to focus on that. It's great that we have these people, and of course, the sales tax generates a lot of money from those people coming in, but we've got to have systems in place. And we have to be forward thinking so that we don't just have a barrage of people that show up and infrastructure is lacking and we're not prepared. We need to be prepared. The guides that I was given talk about 2030, and those numbers are alarming when you think of 2030. So we really need to be forward thinking. And I think that that's probably a top issue. Water, obviously, is another top issue. Water quality, it affects everyone, whether it's the agricultural community and their needs, whether, it's the residents of the community and their needs. I think water quality is going to be top on the list also.
Great, thank you. So as you know, Southwest Florida's economy is heavily dependent on leisure and hospitality. If elected, what would you do to encourage economic diversification in the region?
Well, I believe I've been a strong advocate for private property rights. I, of course, feel strongly and passionately about short-term vacation rentals. I think that we need to continue to welcome the people that come here. UCF did a study that Florida Realtors had shared with us. And when you look at how tourism stimulates our economy, I think we, of course, need to be for anything we can do. I know that there is some expense involved in doing that. And for me, it would be about return on investment. If we're going to spend money to draw tourism, I just want to make sure that obviously we offset that and we are able to show a return on investment.
Great, thank you. So the Southwest Florida Alliance of Chambers was formed in 2018 in the wake of the water crisis, and water quality was and remains our #1 priority. So if elected, what specific projects would you advocate for to improve and protect Southwest Florida's water quality?
Well, I think we need to continue doing what we're doing with the Everglades and everything south of the lake. And I can tell you, of course, I've met with all the lobbyists that represent water, the lobbyists that represent the ag community. And for me personally, I am, and it's probably because of my background, I don't want to focus on the problem. I want to focus on a solution. I don't want to finger point. I don't want to blame people. I just want us all to work together and look for solutions of how we can address it, how we can continue to get it funded, which our governor is doing a great job. And let's just roll our sleeves up and get the work done. And I would like to see us start a project, finish it before we just have the approach of just let's throw it all up against the wall and see what sticks. I don't know that that's a very responsible measure of doing things. I think that, we need to finish some of the projects we've started and reevaluate and move forward.
What specific actions do you think lawmakers should take to improve and protect Southwest Florida's waterways?
Well, I think we're already doing that, with the BMAPs and fertilizer. And, we talked about that in the productivity committee, stormwater runoff. There's a lot of things that we're already doing to be good stewards. And I think we need to continue that. I think, we're going to have to look into, we've got some bills that were addressed this year about the municipalities and them just dumping raw sewage in our waterways. I sit on land use with Florida Realtors, and I have for many years. And so, we've had the septic tank people come in and give us presentations. We've, had the water quality, the Captains for Clean Water. We've pretty much had everybody come through and talk to us and give us presentations. And I just think we all need to be good stewards of our communities and do what we can. We all recycle now, so we just need to, be thoughtful. The golf courses need to understand and do what they can as measures to cut back on all of the fertilizers and things that we're seeing contribute to the issues.
Thank you. So one last question. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about you or your priorities?
I think I listened to Rep. Rommel talk about really not having an agenda. I thought it was a great comment that he had made in the Meet the Candidates interview this past week, and just talking about, you don't have an agenda, you go up, you identify needs based on your community and your constituents. And I think really at the end of the day, that's probably what's most important, is just make sure that you're working for your community.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. We'll be posting these recordings on our websites and our social media pages. And we wish you luck in the election.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.